Hello Frugal Force, this is Captain Frugal reporting for duty, and today I want to talk about a game from Monolith Studios, Condemned 2. Now if you know me, I tend to buy games later on in their life, because that way they're a lot cheaper, and I played Condemned and I loved it, so I thought I'd get Condemned 2. It's a psychological survival horror game developed by Monolith Productions, and it was published by Sega and Warner Brothers in 2008. So this game, yeah, it's 10 years old, but does it still hold up today? It has a dark theme, and you know, if you didn't know it already, check my previous video. I loved the first game. Now, unlike the first game though, Condemned 2 has a little bit different fighting mechanic. You use your left and right fist rather than just one kind of punch. So it adds a little bit more to the fighting dynamic that I loved in the first game. And also features a little bit more firearms in the game than before. And weapons can actually break in this one. So you hit something, you'll hear it crack, and then usually the next hit after you hear it crack, that weapon will break. So it does make it even more challenging than it was previously before. Now, some of the negatives I heard about it earlier on with people said it wasn't as dark and dreary, but I tend to disagree. I think this game had the same dark element as the first. As you see in the video here, it has that same darkness. Now granted, this might, this is on the Xbox 360. It's also on Sony PlayStation 3. This is the Xbox 360 version, and I think the graphics still hold up well today. If I'm not mistaken, this game is also available through digital download now. The game also has a more in-depth forensic investigation gameplay on that, where you do more with the crime scenes and a little bit more interactive there as you make choices and make thoughts and communicate differently based on what you see. This game also takes place directly after the first one. It's actually 11 months after the events of the first game. The mysterious phenomenon causing insane violence and mass psychosis among the metro city's homeless population has gotten worse in this one. Now there's massive riots, and the protagonist Ethan Thomas resigned from the FBI. He was suspended or whatever, but he got cleared of all charges. Now this game also has a multiplayer component, but with that said, I didn't really play the multiplayer because I don't have my Xbox 360 connected to the internet. But it does have a cool thing called Fight Club, where you get to go against AI opponents. As I mentioned before, I was a little apprehensive at first with this game because of the negativity I heard about the lack of eeriness and darkness compared to the first, because that's one of the things I really loved about the first. But I ended up not agreeing with those. I found this game to have a lot of eerie components and a lot of darkness, and the brutal fighting system in here is what I tend to really like. I like the first one, and I have to say I like this one even more. This one expanded on the fight system and allowed you to do combos and things. It also had interactive moments, whereas if you did a certain amount of combos, you could do an interaction with the environment, which added even more brutality. Now granted, this is not a game for kids in any way, and I think the best way to play this kind of game is in the dark with a headset on, especially if your Xbox 360 is like mine, loud as heck. This is just a really immersive, fun game to take and just pounce and brutally beat on things. Once again, not for light of heart, but I truly enjoy that. That's why I think I like about this game. It's so much different than most, especially your traditional run and gunners where you just run and gun everything down. This is just much more brutal. Now, if you're not into that kind of thing and the brutality is not your thing, trust me, this is not your game. But if you like a brutal fight fest, I really strongly suggest this. Although you might, if you like Chronicles of Riddick, that game, then you probably really love this game too as well. So as you see here, this game has some brutal mechanics, very dark. I absolutely enjoyed it. I would highly recommend it. You can find this game for pretty cheap. You should be able to find it under $10 easy. I usually wait till I get special sales at like GameStop or something and get 3 for $10, or get them from a Disc Replay or somewhere else, or a garage sale. And so these games like this usually cost me around $3. And for your $3, I can't see this as a wrong turn. I had a lot of fun. It's not a real long game. You can probably wrap it up in 8 hours. But it has a lot of content, a lot of things you can find in it, and it's just a lot of dark, brutal, play it at night with the lights out and the headphones on, kind of fun. And I hope you enjoy it too, and until next time, keep it frugal.
for you. Says his name's Malcolm Van Horn. Right, but if he calls again, I'm hanging up. Some fucking answering machine. Get out! Now.
That's me, Ethan Thomas. Drunk, tired, and pissed off. Why? Because this damn city's too fucking blind to see what's killing them. But I can. I've seen the unspeakable. It's out there. I have a feeling we're about to get better acquainted.